welcome to Smosh Games Alliance Live, the show that bridges between us. I'm your mentor, Flitz. To my right, you may know him. I'm pretty sure you do. It's Sir Sohinki. To Sohinki's right are two gentlemen who, as we may be the pictorial aspect of video game entertainment, they are definitely the math. Very, very technical, where we're like, ooh, look, glitter and shininess. We got Brandon and Mike from GameTrailers.
Yeah.
And so we're downloading, it's not that far off, we're downloading the new Mario Kart DLC because no one has done 200cc, so that should be interesting. Oh, they
briefly. We had a tournament last night with our subscribers.
Nice.
I did not perform well.
Oh, that doesn't sound fair at all, because jobs and stuff. So, shoutouts, Davey Tudor Gaming, hello. Yes, that was lovely. Ellen Hoek, hello. Gamer Dweebs, that's a great name. Savannah Watson, George 14568, Corey. What? The Dragon King 564, I think that said. Space Beluga, don't know what that is. Gamer, pretty sure that's Russian. Don't even know how to do Russian. X1.
No, that was Hebrew.
Black Blazing X1. What are the X1s for? Bros do Minecraft. I don't even know what that means. Do they though? Mr. Green Monster. Nisa, you said you weren't going to be here, and you're here, so someone's a compulsive liar, and I think it's you. Hello, Pesky Poppy. Senpai notices you all. So, before we get started, we've started. News! There's all sorts of news news isn't really exciting this week, but there are some things that I think are outstanding. So now that we have people who understand the industry sitting here.
What are you trying to say, Flitz?
They do research. It's okay. So not super big news, but it's for I feel like industry folk who have been to E3. Square Enix is having their own conference this year, which is very cool because they don't usually have a whole lot to show. I'm assuming this year it will be Final Fantasy, another Final Fantasy Online, Final Fantasy Dissidia, Final Fantasy. Right? It's just one of the Final Fantasy games. I feel like I'll cover that later, but. What do you guys think? I mean, they're joining the ranks of EA and Ubisoft and Microsoft and PlayStation.
Speaking of Nintendo, they stole Nintendo's time. They're going to be Tuesday morning, and that's when Nintendo usually has their press conference. They haven't announced what time they're going to go yet. So we don't know if Nintendo's going to be like, screw you, Square Enix, we're going at the same time.
Or does Nintendo just
conference
back out?
throwdown.
Do they back out? Do Nintendo back out because they're like, we're not ready?
Or pick another time. No. Or pick another time. I don't know.
They're going to do their conference mobily.
I'm just curious what they're going to do besides Splatoon. They'll talk about mobile stuff.
Deus Ex they're publishing. Nintendo, no, but Square Enix is publishing Deus Ex. And Tomb Raider. We haven't seen anything
which is their biggest, isn't that their biggest money, owner, money?
The last Deus Ex was one of my favorite games of all time.
I'm excited for the new one.
Yeah.
It's Final Fantasy Lightning and Lightning Squared, Lightning times X3.
And then every last single one of their games you'll be able to play as a Lightning or Cloud skin.
13-7.
I could totally see that. But I think that's cool, and I'm excited that Japan is starting to step back up to the plate.
Yeah. And Bethesda's having a conference. They announced that a month or two back, but they're having a conference too. So it's just tons of conferences.
We all know what they're going to announce.
Right. But
you're not fooling
anyone. You're not fooling anybody. And they're going to save it for last. They're going to be like, hey.
Yeah. Until then, they're just going to talk about some weird stuff they're doing, like Xbox Smart Glass stuff that we want to do, but
Let's do the open with the big game or the close with the big game. Open. They come out with Fallout, or we got one more for you.
It's interesting because there's, we'll see. I'm very curious. We all know they're gonna freaking Fallout's back. No one's surprised. Thanks. Jason Voorhees is hitting more MKX May 5th, which I thought about it, and that's great. One of the things I thought about was, now that it's on PC, how does that change the official releases when you can pretty much mod any character you want into MKX? And then with that on top of it, what characters would you like to see in MKX officially, or maybe even modded in? Like, do you have any characters that you guys would like to see?
We have 10 of them. We just did a countdown of that specific title.
You did a countdown?
Yeah. Check it out.
What did
we had,
so I mean, wait, you can't say.
Shredder was on that list.
Okay, there you go.
Our number one, the Terminator.
Yeah, I feel like that's
Arnold
gonna happen.
Which one though? Arnold.
Arnold as the Terminator versus the Predator.
I mean, and with NetherRealms and all they've learned, they have Lobo. So it's not like it would be a really far stretch for them,
right?
Because they've definitely learned a lot from Injustice, and you can see a lot of the incorporations from Injustice too.
Think of all the cool moves if you were like the T-1000 and you had like crazy arms and stuff.
Judge Dredd was on the list.
Yeah, I can totally. Oh, that'd be so. Lots of
RoboCop would be cool.
RoboCop would be very good.
Yeah. Shredder would see another gun character.
Yeah.
He was on there.
Yeah. Leatherface.
Leatherface would be ridiculous.
But just like the whole horror, they've already, if you put Jason Voorhees in there, then it opens up.
It's just a whole horror market.
Yeah, anything. Just like Hellraiser, just all of them.
The
Anaconda from Anaconda.
Right.
It's a giant snake.
Horror combat.
Chucky, just to do with everybody.
That'd be awesome.
Chucky would be so cheeseball.
No, that'd be sick.
You wouldn't be able to hit him. What are you going to do, a high punch?
No, it would be like you'd have to do some kind of Ferrator type thing.
Right.
Where it's like Chucky was controlling something else or something.
It's like how Yoda fights. There'd be lots of hopping and skipping.
I could see that.
Yeah.
That would be such a difficult fight. I find this news exciting as a comic book reader. Marvel announcing a partnership with Telltale Games.
Right.
What? Telltale owning properties to like Game of Thrones and Minecraft. What? And Walking Dead. Now with the Marvel series, they're very good at narratives in their storytelling style. And now that you'll have your favorite characters you can play with, I'm curious because the way they play it, you could be playing as just a S.H.I.E.L.D. agent who encounters all of these
which seems
superheroes.
more likely that it's like a mystery-based thing as opposed to like super action, because like those series aren't really known for like awesome action sequences.
You know what would be cool though? I feel like in their point-and-click style would be like if they had it. Do you remember the old game like Comic Zone for Sega? It's like if you were just walking around the different cells of the comics. That would be pretty dope. I think.
That would be cool.
Really hard. I tried playing that like a year
ago.
No,
I was like,
this game is so
it's
hard.
Terrible.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
Difficult.
I've never beat it. I've never gotten to the point where I turned into the superhero ever. Not once.
Bandai Namco, they explained it. I'm not going to get into it because this isn't the platform. But they explained, essentially summed up why they're bringing more of their Japanese games. They're localizing more of their Japanese properties to the U.S. And the summary is pretty much, the nerds are consuming.
Right.
As we realize, we Japan, there's been a disconnect. They've sat back, and now I feel like they're trying to regain their prowess as video game giants. They're localizing with J-Stars versus. I really hope they up-res the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure that came out late PS3 for PS4 with more generations and more characters. For the love of Mike, please, for your love, please, I hope they do that. They have Naruto. They're localizing One Piece, which is like the most expansive, largest anime on their freaking market today. Essentially,
will never end.
It will never end. It's up to like 700 or something.
Well,
it's
then they'll
ridiculous.
just go to 2-piece. And then Red Piece and Blue.
Right.
Yeah.
2-piece.
Yeah.
And then 2-piece and a biscuit, which is a smell.
Yeah.
But it's really exciting, and Dragon Ball Z is doing really well. People are loving Xenoverse. Their MMO disguise is not really an MMO.
Right.
But
Resurrection F was like pretty sick.
I haven't. Oh, I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
You
we saw the
it.
movie, and like some people were disappointed with it, but as like an old school Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z fan, I thought it was awesome.
Yeah.
And the Frieza saga was like one of my favorites when I was
best.
a kid.
Culmination.
So yeah, it was like a condensed version. It was it was pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Are there any anime? Do you guys watch anime?
I watched Shippuden.
You watch Shippuden?
Religiously, yeah. Naruto.
Naruto Shippuden.
Yeah.
My brain was like, oh, like Samurai Champloo?
There was a guy.
That's what I currently watch. And then like Attack on Titan, but that's gone.
There was a guy at the event that
for
was
now.
doing like a cosplay that was like a crossover of Goku and Naruto. It was pretty funny. Yeah.
Gokudo.
Gokudo, yeah.
Oh,
Naruto.
yeah.
Naruto.
That sounds like Naruto. Like you just shave with it.
I like it.
Naruto, whatever.
What about you? What are you watching, Flitz?
What I want?
What are you watching? What animes?
Death Parade, and then a bunch of other stuff. I loved Space Dandy. Like season 2 ended, and I just love the concept. I'm a space case, and it's just a fun concept of this all-powerful dude who is basically spoilers, but you'll forget he is a fixed point in time across dimensions. So he essentially, you see him die, but he doesn't die. He just transfers to another dimension and continues on existing. If he stops existing, the universe collapses in on itself. Really weird. And he basically, essentially, like, I don't want to spoil it, but it's really cool and it's very fun because if you're a person who is into exploring the universe and the galaxy and interacting with other sentient beings, then this is definitely as you do every weekend, as you do. And speaking of going across all sorts of galaxies, this was originally thought to be 100, but Mass Effect 4 is slated to have at least 200 explorable planets.
What the F?
Which is like...
Jones is never finishing that game.
No.
Yeah. Good luck on the review, guys. Good luck on that review.
And I guess the way it's working, good luck on that review. The way it's working is they have a system where they're randomly generated, and then they after they have one that they're okay with, they go in and they spruce it up and they dress it up so that is an official world. Freaking open world. Like, guys, come on. I mean, with No Man's Sky exists coming out as well, which is essentially going to be infinite amounts of worlds.
Yeah, so there's no way for you to there's literally no way for you to explore everything.
Yeah. What is it going to be in 10 years? Just
yeah.
Like 150 GTA 5s.
Yeah. I feel like it's going to go it's literally could go two ways. We're not only going to expand the universe inwardly as the internet does, but we may be like, well, I mean, people are going to be like, I understand how to do this outwardly, and in 10 years, that would be amazing if in 10 years people are like, oh, okay, and everyone can grasp the concept of leaving the planet and friggin' traveling through fourth and fifth dimensional space in order to get to other planets. It sounds crazy, there was a time when metal machines weren't flying in the air.
We're on our way. They have like the finalists for the mission to Mars.
Yeah, for the mission to Mars. They're sending people to Mars already, which they will be the Martians.
In a while, but
a little while. But they'll be the first Martians because they're like, I'm living here and I'm gonna die here, so I'm a Martian. Well,
maybe they're not the first Martians.
Maybe they're not the first Martians. Maybe they'll run into the reptile people and fornicate with them. We'll see. It's amazing but as a gamer, I can say I'm immensely glad that I'm existing in this age where I can't, like having my dad bring me my first Atari. And then now, and I'm like, blip, blip, I have no idea what I'm doing now. I'm like, hello, space. Hello, universe, Milky Way galaxy. Oh, okay, I think I will go to there. And it's amazing because it shows how our capacity for imagination has expanded as the creators of art imitating life.
Well,
and the consumers of art.
You think about 50 years from now when games are going to be even more insane, but nothing like this is the time. Like we're at the birth of video games. Going back to the NES just
and this
recently.
is only 35 years. Yeah. Not 40 years. So in another 50 years, like
who knows?
I mean, maybe
the games will be playing us.
It's true.
The games will be playing us.
Or maybe we're already 50 years in the future experiencing the past. And this is just a really intricate game. Inceptionalized.
Wow.
So that has been.
I have one other thing.
Oh, do you have one other thing?
The Steam Workshop they're going to be having like paid workshop stuff. You guys.
I did see that.
Oh yeah.
They're creating a platform for modders to sell their mods on the workshop, so that people can actually like make a living doing it, which I think is awesome.
Like, I think that's really crazy.
There's kind of a stink on the internet about like, no, that's always been a free place, but it's like, if the modder makes a thing that they don't want to sell, then they won't sell it.
It's up to them.
Yeah.
Well, it's very interesting because once you start monetizing off of what is essentially a remix, which is done in music, not so much currently in film, but YouTube has definitely created a platform where people can benefit off of the remix and at the same time develop their own style because of the remix culture. And this is essentially an extension of that, the monetization of the remix, which is really interesting because that takes an aspect of power and control from the developers, which honestly, essentially this shows how kind of out of hand, and not in a chaotic out of hand, this is preposterous, out of hand things have gotten where developer teams are so large that they can't reach and meet certain qualifications and quotas in time for release, and then you have the everyman, the PC master race lovers who are like, oh, it's okay, I see potential here, so I'm gonna go in and take your code and redress it, and then here it is back out onto the world. You're welcome, video game companies, and your game is valid or relevant again.
Yeah.
And that's really interesting.
And they also, I mean, the developers have the option of whether or not they want the workshop enabled, I think. So
yeah, and that's
never going to be like
fair.
a copyright thing.
I foresee, what I can say, and this comes from being a product of hip hop culture, the remix definitely is a point of evolution because once someone, and this is kind of how I give advice to you guys in the SGA, because a remix is usually an amalgamation and mixing and gluing together a bricolage of whatever you have available, which is bricolage. Anyway, that once you apply your remix, it opens more doors and opens new doors, and then that is how the innovation takes place, because you're like, oh, that's cool, I have an idea, and then more ideas, and you might inspire someone else, and that is essentially why this platform exists, because it's like, we're in this together, I have an idea, oh, I have an idea, oh, this is cool, I could do this, and then all of a sudden you have gallons of innovation, and that's terrifying to some industry folk, because they're like, well, we have control of this, and this is ours, and we invested so much
There's
money.
like some games like GTA that just know it's going to get modded.
Yeah.
Like, count on that.
And that's what keeps it so amazingly relevant.
Right.
Because people are like, I want to put Goofy in this game.
Right.
They've already started putting dinosaurs in GTA 5 and all sorts of random stuff. So that's going to make it last a long time. And you know how GTA knows how? Because the director mode in Grand Theft Auto. They're like, well, we want you to be able to show this as beautifully as possible. So here's director mode, enjoy your films, upload them online. We are now a part of the voice of the people and the development of video games in terms of open source function.
Well, and keeping games relevant, I mean, they're coming out with a Deus Ex revision mod.
Yeah.
That game came out 15 years ago. You have a team of like 5 or 6 passionate guys who've been working on this for years.
That's crazy.
And just making that game relevant again. It looks beautiful. It's like a tribute to the original game.
Yeah.
Same vibe and tone, but just spruced up.
And I played the original, and I couldn't get into it as much as I'm sure I will be able to.
I couldn't get into it when I was a kid.
The first time around, it's like, now the game looks even better. It's still the original game. Giving players a chance.
My older brother was like obsessed with that game when I was a kid, and I was, I think, too young to get it. And then I played it as an adult, and I was like, this game is amazing.
It's one of my favorites ever.
And then I played the new one, and that one was even better.
So that has been news. Good conversation. You see how long that conversation lasted? Because there's like input and stuff. And they be like, well, this and that. And sometimes 1 + 1 is F and X. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about, GameTrailers, whatever. So, SGA challenge reminder. The deadline is like today. So if you have not uploaded your SGA challenge video, you have essentially until end of the day, until YouTube no longer says April 24th. Today is the deadline. You want to put hashtag SGA challenge in your video. Title: the challenge was for the game Unturned on Steam. Unturned.
Not turned
I like
up.
Unturned. On Steam for completely free. We've guided you
you guys want.
and Smosh you through
at the end there,
cameras, through capturing off of your PC. So
these are like all new?
There are means.
Oh man.
of ways to capture.
Oh
this
wow,
if
they
you have a
added 2 new
PC
Grand
that
Prix.
can
That's crazy.
Run it.
Oh,
But
no.
what we're gonna do now is we
done
have
150
some
for these.
SGA challenge videos that are fun and outstanding. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna start off with the first one by Buddy the Irishman, who you may notice a familiar name in Buddy the Irishman's video because he did a good thing and he collaborated. So check this video out because Crayon.
Hello, SGA members, avid gamers, and YouTube viewers. Welcome to Unturned, the next step in cube-based graphics. It is The Quest for Pants, starring Buddy, the green-blooded Irishman who hails from the Eagle Isle, Midnight Lost, the lone wolf who stalks his prey in the dead of night, and DJ Longarms, spinning those funky fresh tunes from 30 feet. Are you ready for the second SGA challenge? Let's go!
I've got nudes chasing after me! Run! Safety.
We want a hug!
Ooh. Oh, damn.
Who are you? So it's first of all, that's a great intro. It's so dramatic. But
excellent
when we were
voice.
first listening to it, excellent voice. And I don't know if it's Buddy's voice or if because he's collaborated, if that's John Bailey, who's the voice of the Honest Trailers.
It didn't sound like when I listened. It didn't sound quite like him.
It's close though.
It's a good imitation.
It's a good imitation. If it is not, in fact, John Bailey, who probably would gladly do it anyway,
oh, yeah, totally.
because he's very active with the community. But that's a great example because it's collaboration and using what you got. It's all dramatic and stuff, and it's like Buddy, and that's cool. That's fun. Buddy is in the chat, so I'm glad you're excited. I'm glad you got to see yourself be all featured and stuff.
Jeez.
Next up is a video by SGA member Artisan, who it's interesting because if you've been to UK or if you live in the UK, there's a BBC on the BBC. The voice actor on the BBC, he has a certain drawl when he says on BBC 4, and this kid Artisan, who's actually also funny, he did a good job, and he's entertaining, and he's young, and it's always really fun to see and hear young, entertaining folk having fun doing with the things they do. So let's check out the art of Artisan real quick.
What is up, audience? My name is The Artisan, and I'm here to welcome you to Unturned. Unturned is a blocky zombie survival game, which most likely is a mix between Minecraft and DayZ. This game is in early access, so there is not too much content, but we'll probably make this into a series as long with the nostalgia play. So let's hope that we can review some more content as we get into the series. Alright, let's just hop into it. So currently at the moment there is only 2 maps. The one Pay is the one with the most content. It's an island off the east coast of Canada, known for its massive beaches, great golf, and potato farming. That sounds a lot more like Ireland than Canada. Let's go. Woo! Whoa, crap, a zombie, straight off the bat. Okay, we have a hand. Whoa, what the hell was that? No, it's already eating at me. Go away.
I like his voice. I like as soon as he started talking, John Sohinki started
It is
laughing.
unturned. That's
it's
so
like
good.
Next on BBC 4.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous.
Yeah, it's like, but it's a fun. It's definitely the accentuation of certain words, like the drop on unturned. It makes it interestingly entertaining.
Yeah.
Because it's I feel like he could do like if he could do like video game nature videos. Like it makes sense.
He should
He
just
has
play.
the voiceover and he's like,
He should
here's
just
a
play
bird in the
Pokemon
wild.
Snap.
Yeah.
And there we
Pokemon
see
Snap.
a wild Pikachu. Let's see if we can get closer.
That would be amazing. I mean, Artisan, if you're watching, explore it. Explore that idea because you definitely have the voice for it. The next video, the last video of this section, comes from Bad Gamers. And Bad Gamers are fun because they're buddies. They're buddies who like to have fun. And they do something that I like to do, which is kind of state things and compare them to other things. And I mean, two things I like to do because I also just really like having fun playing games with my friends. And that's exactly what they do. And they call themselves Bad Gamers, but I don't think it's so much that they're bad as is maybe they're just really distracted. Check out Bad Gamers.
Alright, Bad Gamers here. We're playing some Unturned for a challenge.
Alright.
Go win that shit.
And we're going hardcore.
Hardcore challenge.
Hardcore challenge. All the way hard. That sounds so wrong.
You're gross.
No, I'm not.
You're disgusting.
Alright.
Oh my god, this is so hard.
These graphics though, right?
I swear to God, is that a real tree? Wow, this tree, man, is so real. I want to punch it.
Get to the town.
Why, so a bunch of zombies can kill me? No.
Yeah, that's the point.
You never go to a town. A barn, that is totally safe.
There's gonna be, what's that?
A farmer.
Are those the berries?
Oh, I did the high berries.
Oh, you're naked.
Purple berries.
Eat them. Eat them.
Oh!
Why do you need a gas tank? You're gonna die. Oh, they're coming at you, bruh. You're high and they're coming at you. Oh, jumped. Give him that loop-de-loop.
Machete.
Machete. Finally. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. I got the skills to pay the fucking bills.
You need to find some clothes. Wow, take your time, Alan.
I'm trying. You guys will die. Fuck you.
So there's a lesson here about not eating random foliage. Otherwise, it'll lead to a pretty interesting
I don't know,
drug
vegans
trip.
would have you believe that you can eat any foliage.
They would. But then you might wind up naked during a zombie apocalypse looking for answers, holding an axe.
And that's the future of all vegans.
That is the future of all vegans, Anthony. Okay, so we'll show more SGA challenge videos later, but so right now you guys are playing 200cc. I haven't played Mario Kart 200cc yet.
Not for Mr. Huber over here, man.
Oh, I'm
Huber's
like dead
destroying
last.
it.
Are you kidding me?
Are you dead last?
I just got dead last.
Oh, that was you. Okay,
I
I'm
got
getting you
third
guys
place.
confused. Huh?
I refuse to use any other character than Bowser, though.
Oh, on
pretty hard to
200cc,
handle.
that's gotta be
Bowser's
impossible.
unforgivable.
He's just my favorite character of all time. So I
You gotta represent.
Exactly.
So how is it? How much faster is it?
It's a lot faster.
You actually have to brake.
Yeah.
I don't brake.
I just let off the gas.
Yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Honestly, moving over to that brake button is just, I got no time.
I don't have time for that.
Nobody got time for
your
that.
brake button.
How would you compare this to like supercars in like normal racing games? Is it about this fast or?
I mean, it's slower than like an F-Zero, but you know, in context to Mario Kart, it is damn fast.
Because I think the courses also just weren't really designed for 200cc, so it's just like lots of slamming into walls.
Yeah, I'm all over the road. Get it together, Bowser.
You guys can do it. I believe in all of you.
Thanks, man.
So while you're driving, we had you, the community, send in questions over the course of days. Lots of questions. Some questions we've answered like
a bajillion times.
A bajillion times. So we may not answer those particularly, or maybe I'll just pass them off because my answers are fairly consistent in this time frame. But maybe they maybe Brandon and Mike have different answers for you.
Sure.
Or maybe they won't be able to answer at all because driving at 200cc in Mario Kart.
I'm sorry, were you saying something?
What are you saying?
All right, so let's see. That's interesting. This is a question, and I don't think I will answer this the way you expect me to, or maybe you will. But it has a lot to do with the field in which I exist. The question is from XBTC Gaming X, and this is a question that I would like actually you guys to answer as well, because I'm probably going to answer it wrong, but it's very relevant to us. Flitz, what is your favorite YouTuber, and do you have a favorite game idol? So when I thought game idol, I was like, video game character? I don't know. But
maybe person in the video game industry?
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Yeah.
As far as favorite YouTuber, I'm a huge fan of my friends, and that sounds like a huge cop-out, but I'm terrible at favorites. Like, I don't have a favorite liquid drink or a favorite food, let alone a favorite YouTuber. I just don't do favorites. So, as far as that question, there are people that I do watch a lot, and I'm excited to watch their videos. One is Raka Raka, I don't remember. But they're amazing because they just released a video where it was like DC, what is it? I don't remember. See, that's the thing. That's why I don't do favorites, because you gotta remember details, and I'm not that invested. The thing they do is they play, and they have fun, and they have a series ongoing with like Ronald McDonald, and Ronald McDonald's really violent, and they play with special visual effects. And I don't know where they get money from, but they seem like a bunch of kids who just live in a house, but they flip cars, and they've driven. In the most recent video, they like drove a car through a house. Jeez. And I'm like, where? And they don't get millions of hits, barely hundreds of thousands of hits, but they're doing amazing big things, and it's not exclusively dudes. They do fight scenes, and they've done like Lord of the Rings versus Game of Thrones, and it's full of visual effects, and they're amazing, and it's very exciting to watch because you never know what they're gonna do. So I adore them as YouTubers massively. As far as having game idols, my game idols tend to be the people who were essentially my mentors in getting me to this place now, which are a lot of hosts and video game journalists, not so much video game industry staples. The people who helped me very much so, and maybe you guys will agree, Adam Sessler. I hold him at huge high regard because I've always adored, not only does he have a great capacity for knowledge in the video game industry, but every time you hear him talk about anything, he's always excited. Almost like he's like always vibrating. I just want you guys to know that, don't get me wrong, it's really smart, but, and he's very articulate through his excitement, and you can tell his excitement because of the way he stutters. When he's really excited, he stutters a lot when he's really, really excited. And I love that, and I love that was a big inspiration to me. Kevin Pereira was a huge inspiration to me because his brain is amazing as a host. He's quick, he's fast, and he's funny. And he's one of the kind of people who inspired me to not really have a filter, but have a filter. And one of the greatest pieces of advice I've ever heard him give, that I still give to this day, as I was already doing it, is read a book, read books, read, because that is what will help you be more articulate, that will expand your vocabulary. That's part of why I talk the way I do. And if you're reading about the things you love, you expand your capacity for the knowledge of that thing, which makes you more valuable in the field of dealing with that thing. So, favorite YouTube, I guess Raka Raka for now. There are a bunch. Shots of Ball is amazing as well, but I could go for days. And then video game influences, Adam says. I mean, I have more because I love Jeff Keighley as well. Jeff, I enjoy his method for questioning. He's really good at asking questions.
Ruthless.
Yeah. He's really good at asking questions.
Not take no for an answer.
And not taking no for an answer. And if he gets no, he knows how to work through and ask the question again to get the answer he wants without the person he's interviewing.
Like watching him and Reggie Fils-Aimé go at it is like a fencing duel. I mean, it's just because Reggie has a really clear list of things he can say and can't say. Yeah. And Keeley just doesn't care. He's like, I'm just going to keep pushing and asking this question.
And you would, I mean, he has a camaraderie with all these people.
Sure.
But it's a mind game. It's watching a very interesting mind game, and that has definitely helped me as a host work better towards asking questions that aren't typical, and that you can get the answers that you want, or even get the answers that will help you speculate in the right direction. So, yeah. So, Hinky, favorite YouTube, favorite gaming industry,
So, I'm really into esports. So, a lot of the YouTube that I watch are like either people that are players in the games that I like to play, or commentators, or whatever the case may be. So, lately I've been watching like a lot of Hearthstone stuff. Because I've been playing like a lot of Hearthstone.
Because that's what you play.
Yeah.
He's literally, that's what he plays.
I like watching this guy, Trump.
That's what I was going to say. Stole my answer.
Trump is great. And Crip. No Life Crip.
No, is he actually a Crip?
I think he called, Kripp.
Oh, I just imagine this Crip like just sitting in all blue in front of his computer like, yeah, I dare you.
Ragnarok.
What you know about that Paging Dr. Boom, though? Paging Dr. Boom.
Yeah, GG.
No, so I like watching Hearthstone players. I've watched a lot of Twitch, though, so like Beyond the Summit is an amazing Twitch channel for Dota. They do like ESPN quality coverage of like professional Dota, and it's ridiculous. It's really well done. All their casters are like on point, and even if they're not the most well versed in the game as far as like really advanced stuff, they're very good at like play by play. So it's always interesting to watch. And the production, like I went to their studio once and I was like, this is your studio? Because there's like this banner hung up with like, it looked like really janky, but on screen it looks amazing. It looks like a professional. Smosh Game studio. Exactly. But our studio doesn't even look that great. In the back of Lasercorn shot, it's always just like wires. No one's addressed it.
Floor and wires and poles.
It's like good shot, good wires.
Good. Yeah.
And then video game idol. I don't know. That's tough to say. I don't know. I'm gonna come back to me for video game idol. I'll think about it. Yeah. Boom.
I got to give a shout out to Rob Welkner from CoinOp TV, who's way into the toys.
Yeah.
And like he's just, I love somebody that's so centralized as far as what they really love in games, and it's really tough for like up and coming YouTubers to be like, I want to do everything, and it's like really pays to focus on what your passion is. And every time he just posts something on Twitter, he's just like, I was at Toys R Us. Yeah. And he's doing Amiibo there. I got something. It's like it's so infectious, and so he's really great.
You know what's a fun fact?
Yeah.
When I first moved out to LA, which is in 2008, I had a group called the Nerdiest Kids, and Rob Welkner at some point I guess came across that, and me being in this gaming circle, and that was the first like show that I was brought on as a guest.
Nice.
Because I was working QA at Activision at the time, and he contacted me. He was like, hey, I got this show, and I've been keeping up with Nerdiest Kids. You want to come be a guest on my show? And I was a guest on the show. And then I eventually had a show on the stream. I had a few shows on the stream, but that's just a random, fun, like, interesting factoid.
This stage is so weird.
Yeah, this stage is not good for 200.
It's impossible.
I don't think there's that many borders on the sides of the. Yeah, I just flew off the track.
Well, the last one was impossible too. These are not meant for this. This is an ungodly speed.
God was not meant for Mario Kart to be played at this speed. And in the beginning days of GameTrailers, we worked very closely with Screw Attack and Craig over there and the whole crew. And those guys are really great. Those guys treat their community better than almost anybody in the biz. And they're so close to their fans, and they're just fun. Everything they do is just really fun. Like, we have some videos, we have some serious videos, and they're a blast to watch and to follow, and they do lots of fun stuff with their Screw Attack. Gaming Heroes, I'd have to give it up for Dan Houser, because who did all the Grand Theft Auto games.
Nice.
Because he's like, he's brought in some people to co-write some of the Grand Theft Auto games, but he's been on the writing staff of all of those. And it's really common for somebody like Jade Raymond to be really instrumental in the beginning of the Assassin's Creed franchise and then kind of like wander off and go do other stuff. And he's just always been writing GTA games, like every single GTA game that's come out.
And
it
Red
just
Dead.
says written
That's
by Dan Houser.
Nice.
So yeah, the guy's body of work is pretty crazy as far as like all the different characters he's brought into the stories and being able to bring all these different cities to life, and I think delivering some of the best writing in games.
See, that's always interesting because as many people, as popular as Grand Theft Auto is, I'm very confident most of the people, even in the watching, don't know who Dan Houser is. Like, they have no idea.
And he's not that kind of personality. You don't see him a lot in interviews. You don't hear his name pop up. Like Rockstar doesn't go to E3 every year because like they don't need to.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's just he's really confident in his brand and his game franchise, and really good writer.
Wow.
Smart man.
Cool.
Mike
Hubesley.
Trump obviously is like probably #1 streamer I watch, and Foe. 1FO1.
Is it 1FO1?
1FO1.
PHO?
Yep.
This is pho.
Yeah, Foe.
1FO1.
Yeah.
Or pho, I guess.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I mean,
he does both.
Does he hang out with the Crip dude and he's just like, yeah, killed you. What pho? Oh, no, not you, pho.
So he streams a lot of Smash, and he's insanely good at it. And the way he interacts with the community, like if you donate, he'll give you a private lesson. If you donate like a couple bucks, he'll let you pick the character, and he'll like show you he'll battle you and show you what to do. And he's just a really genuine, cool guy to watch.
That's it. That's freaking awesome.
And then role model, idol, probably Greg Kasavin. He was a writer on GameSpot way back in the day, and I can remember growing up, I wanted to get into the industry and review games, and he was always the guy who I strived to be like. His writing was just phenomenal, and every time he reviewed a game, I paid a little more attention and just really read it and analyzed it. And now he went on to actually make games. He made Bastion and Transistor.
Oh, that's awesome.
Out. So he's definitely one of the biggest guys. And anything PC Gamer does.
Oh, I was literally just thinking that for my answer.
They are without a doubt my favorite outlet still to this day.
I think I still have my copy of the PC Gamer where it was a Half-Life cover, Game of the Millennium.
Yes.
Yeah, I think I still have that copy.
Heck yeah.
Well, one of the things you mentioned was in your idol, did you, because this is something that I touch on with the Alliance, did you, as you read and studied his style, and then as you started writing yourself, did you mimic his style as much as you could, or was it a thing where
I mean, he's so out of my league that...
Well, but the reason why I asked is because one of the things I say a lot is I like to compare it to drawing, because that's a great part of what I know. And if you see something, there's two ways you can do it. You can either trace it, and so you don't have to trace anymore, and then you start to study and you train your hand that way. Or you look and then you try to draw what you see. Yeah. And in that, you eventually do that so much that you don't have to do it anymore, and you start putting your own style and stuff into it. And before you know it, you've come up with this thing that is nothing like what the thing you were trying to imitate is, because it becomes yours. And that's why I asked, because that is definitely a process that works, and I was wondering if that was possibly your process.
I would say yes. Yeah? I would read a ton of his stuff, and then just, early days of me trying to get in the industry was just a blog. And just, that's the main thing to do, is just keep doing what you want to do, because when you stop, you get complacent and you get just relaxed.
And then you die.
Yeah, you got to just keep going.
Life is motion. That's what I like to say that a lot. Life is motion. So if you're
not
moving,
that's definitely true for a fish.
Well, it's true for us too. You can't just stop breathing. You can't go on vacation from breathing. You can't. You're gonna be like, all right, blood, calm down. I'm going to relax.
In a way,
it just keeps moving.
In a way, it was even more fun because I didn't have Brandon Jones looking over my shoulder reading all of my work and critiquing it. I was my own boss. I could write whatever the hell I wanted, even if it was just radical viewpoints, you know. So it's a cool time to experiment when you're learning your craft.
So I mean, and that's the same thing I tell you guys with YouTube. It's if you know what's good. If you want to mimic the Smosh Game style, if you have a favorite YouTuber that's not a part of Smosh at all, why not mimic their style? Because you will find something else of your own in exploring that. You will, as much as you will always try, you won't be them. Unless you're a great impersonator, which that does exist, which that's a whole new skill set that you've discovered by accident, so congratulations on that. There's literally nothing for you to lose. It's just plenty for you to utilize. This is a question from Jerons. Jerons likes to ask questions. And it says, hello. Hello. Is working solo better than working in a crew like you guys? And why did you choose working together?
It's easier to work with other people if you're good at working with other people. So, there are benefits to working alone. It's only your voice. You get to control everything. If you reach an extremely high level by yourself, then you're the only one making all of the profit. But if you work with other people and you're good at collaborating, a lot of times you can make better stuff than you would have been able to make on your own.
Because there's different
Because there's a bunch
involved.
of different voices coming in.
Voices and skill sets.
And exactly. When we met at our first job at a place that shall not be named, there were just so many talented people, and like we just kept realizing as the team grew, like this person's really good at this, and this person's really good at this, and everyone kind of had their one skill that they were really good at.
And then we started combining and making
you know I'm going to call you out.
What
is the place? Calling you
out.
out.
We don't want to name it, man.
We can't name. No. We'll name it off camera. We can't give our old boss any shine.
Yeah, no shine for him.
Yeah.
Even though I think he sold it.
I mean, he's a bazillionaire, so it doesn't actually. He won't care, but.
Getting free Teslas. Whatever. Think you better than me? I don't care. Working alone is important because that is where you will be allowed to discover yourself and your style and what you're capable of, at the same time expanding what you're capable of without distractions. Working with each other's, that means other people that are you. Working with others is very important for the sake of innovation. I'm reading a book called Where Good Ideas Come From. And this book basically covers the aspects of the history of innovation to try to figure out what is the algorithm that exists so that innovation and growth culturally and growth can take place. And the biggest thing is it's feedback. It's the doors leading to more doors. As there may be one person in a large crowd that has an idea, and other people will hear it and they'll say, "Oh, and it becomes improv. It becomes the rules of improv." Yes, and there's no wrong answer. You start stacking different things on top of it, adding and removing until it makes sense, and then all of a sudden you have something that's brand freaking new and a masterpiece. That is the process of working in a group, and that is why that can help and be better. Because if you're looking to break and change something, if you're looking to break the mold, you can do it alone. That's funny. You can do it alone. John Sohinki swatting flies. You can do it alone, but if you want to develop and grow, lose the control freak and learn to hug.
I think that there's really no such thing as doing it alone, though, because if you're working by yourself, your product is still going out to a bunch of people that are giving you feedback.
On YouTube.
But even if I'm Nike and I'm making shoes and a bunch of people aren't buying my shoes, I'm like, oh, my shoes must be terrible.
Yeah.
I should make better shoes. And then you might go around and start asking, like, why don't you like my shoes? And they're like, well, the sole wears out really quick and I didn't really like them. So, and then then you work on your shoes. So even if you're working by yourself, you're still always getting feedback as long as you're offering a product that other people are consuming.
Yeah. And another reason to put the science to it, where the solo versus the collective, It's very prominent in our culture that the greatest portion of our innovations start to develop faster in cities. The Hokie folk town, that Hokie folk town.
Sounds like a
That's where I grew up, man.
That sounds like an adult.
But now you live in the city. You realize
that sounds like an Adult Swim show.
The Hokie folk town. It does. I would probably watch it too.
Yeah.
But if you think about the small culture, and I don't want to, and not small and trying to take anything away from it, but this is a society that is very often led by a great level of judgment. And once you start doing something different, people start looking at you sideways and they're like, why? As opposed to the city where there are so many different types of beings and people, you can glide through the city having thoughts and existing a different type of way. And someone will be like, hey, that's cool. And then they'll think to expand on it. And then that's how groups start to find groups. The same thing happens in the workplace and in the workspace. So I would recommend personally, when you're developing yourself as an entity, as a product, because you become a product at a point as you become a host or as an entertainer, learn to study. Learn to study what you love. Learn to mimic what you love, and then flip it so that it's yours. And then when you're in a group setting, learn to be who you are and take input, because you're not turning against yourself if someone has input that you may not fully understand but go along with. You're just expanding your capacity for knowledge and the things that you can have access to once you're joining other groups, or when you're by yourself again, you're like, oh, that was an idea, I could utilize that and freaking reverse engineer it, and now it's mine, and zippity doo dah, you have a thing. And so there's no better. They're two different things. There's nothing to take away from either or. You just need to learn how to utilize both as their own individual spaces.
I think it also depends on what kind of content you want to do.
Yeah.
So, if you're just going solo, then you obviously want to have maybe more like opinion pieces. Like you want to have like a really specific personality. Like we've been talking about with guys that stream on Twitch, may want to pick a genre or a game that you're really good at, and then try to get in that community and get known for playing that game. Whereas when you have a group, then we have an editorial staff, so we can review games because we have like multiple people that can be working on different games at the same time. We do our count the top 10 every week because we can have like a whole group of people get together and all offer their ideas and share their experiences of games they knew growing up. So this week we're doing the top 10 jerks, so it was like funny to bring up. The King of All Cosmos was one that Elise brought up, and I was like, oh, good call. Like, what a jerk. I hate that guy from Katamari Damacy.
Oh, I was still on the other side.
And so it's great getting those memories, those gaming memories from people and adding their experience to your work. At the end of the year, we do our Game of the Year awards, and so it's like that. I'd be much less interested in a Game of the Year awards if it was just one person sharing their experience, as opposed to like a whole group getting together, and picking all of the games that they like throughout the year. So it depends on what you're doing.
Yeah. That makes perfect sense. Why do people think I'm evil? I'm not evil.
What?
No. I am not a Sith.
Oh, I see. It's the hood.
Yeah, maybe. Or it's just a hood.
It's both. Combined.
Right. That was good answers, gentlemen. Good answers. Good. So
we're golf clapping ourselves.
Yep. Let's go flipping you.
Shoutouts: Lucas White, Stefano M, Matthew Valhem. K Valhem is the K silent. Elizabeth Hedges, Cool Man Han, Robin Ives, Drew Rivers, Lucas White, Weebo Fresh, Davey Tudor said your name, Cerez, Dylan 8 Banana. Do you have 8 bananas? Revolver Bin 190, Mac Polk. That is a complicated name. Ariana Walker, Blackstar the Sorcerer, hello. I've seen you several times. Hunter Christensen. Seriously?
Sounded
Armor
angry.
Studios, Midnight Lost, ESPN 30N? Wait, ESP 30N. What does that mean? Tech Stomper. You guys are your name, Star Music. All right, so we've we've been doing this for an hour now. We have about 30 minutes left. I know. It's been an eventful 30 hours. Just so
30 hours.
30 hours.
30 hours. It's been an eventful 30 hours, but this thon is going to save a lot of Africans. So, challenge reminder: the deadline is today, April 24th. Get your SGA challenge videos in. The game is unturned. Get it in before the end of day, and you will be considered for SGA challenge victor. Our last victor being DJ Longarms, and if you didn't see his unboxing video, we tweeted it, and he was excited, and he got stuff. The runners-up also got things, but they didn't make an unboxing video.
See, that's because the winner knew what to do.
The winner knew what to do.
Yeah.
No. So definitely you want to upload your video with the hashtag SGA challenge. If you are not already in the SGA, go to SmoshGamesAlliance.com and join us. If you're not old enough, which means if you're under 13, salty balls. If you're over 13 and in between 18, you need parents' permission. If your parents won't let you, we can't really talk to them directly, so salty balls. But you can convince them because PayPal, you know. You be like, Mom, I can get paid. And then just,
it's a summer job.
Introduce your parents to stage moms and the concept of stage moms. Maybe watch some pageant shows and be like, Mom, this could be me. You know, I could be the next Honey Boo Boo. You could be the next Honey Boo Boo. Do you want to be the next Honey Boo Boo? No.
I don't think
maybe,
so.
Maybe. So, speaking of the SGA challenge, Scruffy, I am working on your remix. I'm working on a lot of things. I just don't want to rush your remix. But Scruffy, who was featured in SGA Spotlight, I'm working on this. I'm working on something for Scruffy because Scruffy dances and I make music. So we're gonna figure out a thing. I have a lot of stuff to do, but Scruffy, I haven't forgotten you. I can send you a rough.
Wow, I got rough.
No, I can't. I can't send you a rough yet, but honestly, I'm working on it.
Damn, you're piranha.
So, SGA challenge videos. We're gonna do the second batch of SGA challenge videos. Maybe you've seen them, maybe you haven't, but you should definitely check out your fellow SGA members' videos because support each other, and then collaborations and stuff happen, and maybe you'll find your girlfriend and you can touch her in inappropriate ways. The first video.
You just say words sometimes.
I
and
do,
and I go in my ears and I process them.
The next video comes from Matt Plays, which has a very amazing intro, very dramatic, and it really, I feel, helped set the tone for his commentary and his exploration through the world, which is pretty damn epic. So, Matt Plays.
Whoa, what a weird dream. That was really scary. Whoa, why is there a moldy tomato in my bed? I'm not even gonna ask.
I love the intro because it's I see opportunities for, like, you know, the next unturned Game of Thrones. You guys want to do some unturned Game of Thrones? That'd be cool. It's kind of hard to be afraid in that game because it's like being afraid in Minecraft.
That happens.
Minecraft can be scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, only because you can drop your stuff.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
You lose your entire inventory. You have no idea where you are.
You got to get back to
Terrifying.
where you were. I don't know. I think it's fun. Minecraft zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, it's cool. It's Minecraft with guns. What's not to like?
Guncraft.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Call of Duty. The next video comes from Centuro, and they're just friends hanging out in Unturned. I like the idea of doing videos with your friends. I think I'm going to do a series on my channel with my friends.
What are you going to call it?
I'm going to call it
Gaming with Friends?
Bro Hinky.
That's right.
No, I'm going to call it Negro Hinky and Friend. I'm the Negro, though.
Oh, okay.
You're the friend.
I thought that it was just me as a black guy.
That would be awesome if we put your face and you have to stay still while you're streaming, and then it's just my mouth moving. And And you just key out your mouth, and it's just my mouth moving.
I like
so the next video comes.
This is how collaboration works. That's why you work with other people.
With a group. Yeah.
that's how ideas come about. Next video is for Centuro. There goes Centuro's video.
Well done. And a tutorial because you're a special kid.
Shut up, I've never played it before.
You got this.
Welcome to the turret. Now look. When ready, use X to crouch and sneak under.
I did that too. I'm like, wait, am I sneaking under a barrel? And then I was like, oh, there's a there's a cut in the wall.
That's awkward. Use Z to haha.
I love how you got like breadstick arms. It's like you're holding like old breadsticks. Do you not think that?
I do. 100%. Press tab to open your inventory. Tab. Oh, yeah.
You had a dick.
Oh, wow. Wait, is that a coffee cup?
No, that's a rag. You want the gun? Just get the gun. Equipped.
Yeah, I didn't even know Unturned had a tutorial.
No, nor did I.
I had no idea.
That would have helped a lot.
I just jumped right in and kept dying, and I was like, this is stupid.
I found guns really quick, though. So.
Did you?
Yeah.
I've noticed a lot of people
on the
are
live
very brave when they're playing. Like, they'll just run to the city, and because the ghosts are crawling. It's weird and kinky.
There you go saying things.
First of all, the next name is interesting, and then when you hear the voice that is attached to the name, I guess it makes sense. I think it's adorable, personally. It's the Thug Turtle.
I like that image that I have in my head now from the
Glasses or no glasses?
And the Thug Turtle is going through the world of Unturned, narrating the Thug Turtle's experience, and the video is titled The Unturned Story. So it's basically you get to experience this world through the eyes of the Thug Turtle, but he's a young thug. So
he's trying to find his way.
He's trying to find his way slowly. So I mean, check out the Thug Turtles, the Thug Turtles Unturned Story.
So I kind of woke up in the morning, wasn't really sure what was going on. Felt a bit lightheaded, had a couple of drinks. It was definitely alcohol. It wasn't cola, don't worry. Don't think I killed anyone, don't know either there. But I was just away having a nice trip with the boys, out camping, and I stepped outside, and I was like, oh my god, Farmer Joe and Worker Ben, they're all dead. So confused, my best mates from way back were dead, and I had no idea. Not a clue why. They had some kind of weird green face. I'm not really sure, okay? So I went out to see if the other lads were okay, and they started walking towards me. I was like, alright, hi, and then, oh, one of them bloody bit me. So I don't know what any sensible man would do, and I beat the living shit out of them. Everything started going a bit grey, wasn't really sure what was going on.
I think it's an amazing concept.
That's my favorite so far. Yeah. Can I just put out there that everything is better with a British accent?
It is.
Like horror films are scarier, comedies are funnier, dramas are more serious. Like,
but also I was picturing a turtle with like a gold chain and like he's got like the dollar sign there.
Just waking up in this world.
And he's like, I didn't know if I killed anyone or what.
I think it's an amazing concept, the idea of, I haven't seen it before, but it's a fun concept of, I've thought of it, where you're just narrating your life experience as you traverse through this world, experiencing these new things. And I don't know if he did it in post or this is a thing that he was doing while he was playing. If it's a thing that he was doing while he was playing, that's freaking awesome. Because that's a challenge. That shows that he has a pretty quick mind and he can pull from all sorts of sources in order to create an enticing and entertaining story. So freaking kudos, young thug. Young Thug Turtle. Whatever that means, the turtle with the gold chain around his neck wearing sunglasses. Talking about thug life. So we have time for a couple more questions, and I'm gonna go as fast as I can. This first question I think is really good. What was the game you clocked up the most hours on ever?
Oh God.
And that's from I don't know who.
Dota 2. I've probably played for something like 2,500 hours.
You know what's really funny? It's from Savannah Watson. I just found it. And it says Sohinki is most likely Dota 2 or WoW.
Actually, WoW.
I'll take WoW.
Okay. I may have played more WoW than Dota 2, actually.
Yeah?
That's horrifying because they have the time. Like, you can look it up and, like, why would you ever do that?
Yeah, no, in fact, definitely I've played more WoW now that I think about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Because I remember it was a month. The first time I looked it up, it was like, wow, a month of my life I've been logged into WoW.
Well, the crazy thing is you were only at a month.
That's difficult for me.
Well, the first time I looked it up, I don't know what it ended up being at the end of the day.
That's difficult for me because I played a lot of Lineage 2, and their sales system have you run back to town and you sit down in town.
Yeah.
And you sell.
Yeah.
So I would like to say that game, but I also want to say, I can't just leave it to one because it's an ongoing story. It's either that or the Mass Effect franchise. Because I played through each one at least twice, and I know I played through one at least 3 or 4 times, and 2 at least 3 or 4 times. So, and then 3 at least 2 times.
Yeah, I completely didn't even think about World of Warcraft when the question was asked, and when I thought about it, I'm pretty sure that on one of my characters I had like something stupid like 5 months. Like just an awfully disgusting amount of time. Like, I would be willing to bet that I have something like a year played in that game.
That's crazy. A year of your life in a digital world.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's the Matrix.
Yeah, it's bad.
For me,
I'm not proud.
For me, Resident Evil 2.
Oh, wow.
Yeah?
I've beat that game 300 times probably.
Wow.
No joke. I used to just beat it on like a daily basis.
Just general
just in middle school, elementary school, just going through, just every day, nonstop. Just played it for years.
I can't stop.
What would bring about a RE2 playthrough? Like what would spark it?
I just did some on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just breathing air.
Yeah.
I should probably play some RE2.
Yeah.
This is fun. I don't know if I have an answer for this. What's the weirdest thing you've been asked / told by a fan? And that's from Mihari-chan.
Somebody just tweeted me a picture of they were watching my show and they tweeted a picture from their living room. They had it on like a 200-inch projector screen.
And it's just you.
A picture of me, just massive in their living room. I was like, that's really cool, but really intense.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel? Did you touch yourself after that? What?
It was actually from Buttons. The Twitter
yeah,
account of Buttons.
I was just gonna say, yeah. So we had a cat help us out with our E3 coverage last year.
Oh, nice.
A very fat.
Literal cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, real cat.
Okay.
Did some coverage for us, and it just really went to his head. And now he's got his own Twitter feed, and that's surreal, man. It's like the Frankenstein monster, you know. It's just like, you know, something you've created just comes back to haunt you.
Cats on the internet, man.
Yeah, cat. Yeah, I should have known.
Into the
We should have known he put a cat on the internet, and it's gonna light up.
Loses its complete and utter control.
Yeah.
So, Iggy, what's the weirdest thing?
Oh man.
Come on, there's got to be tons. Is it all just fanfics?
People send me like they've like framed a picture, or it'll be like their home screen of like me in a dress. Like
someone looks at every day.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like that's cute, I guess. I mean, the picture's not cute. It's funny that you have it.
And it's just you, like, just because.
Well, like from like the punishments or whatever, when I had to like, there was one where I had to like literally wear this nightie with Jovenshire. People like to tweet me that picture a lot. Because it was a very embarrassing moment for me, but not for Joven, because he's used to that kind of thing.
He's just used to wearing dresses all the time.
He's like totally cool. I'm
Brandon?
just like, no.
I jumped on the buttons bandwagon. It would probably.
Oh, it was the buttons.
Yeah, that was just completely surreal. Getting really every single time that the damn cat tweets. It's like,
what is this? But wait, is it happening? So? Do you actually know who it is, or is it just someone saw it and then they just took on?
We don't know who has.
We don't know.
It could be Buttons. It could be Buttons himself.
It could be Buttons.
It could actually just be Buttons.
Pretending to be Buttons. But if someone's pretending to be Buttons and it's not Buttons, that's
just weird.
A sad existence right there.
Sad.
Terrifying.
I can't really think of anything because my weird threshold is really large.
Yep.
When you get a weird one, it's a good day.
When I get something that makes me go, what? But yeah, I don't. I mean, I can't say it's weird. I find it interesting when people say I love you. Because I don't know what to do with that energy. Because I understand I am a personality who exists on the web and there are aspects of me that I am sharing. But when they say it, usually I have no idea who they are. So it's like they're like, I love you, and I'm like, you're probably 12. Can I say this back? I love you too.
I respond with I heart you. I heart you back.
See,
it's very.
That's a very diplomatic response.
Yes, I could be a politician.
I love you and I heart you.
And I heart you. Do you have a baby? I'll kiss it.
I just how do I return that? I don't know how to return that affection. There's so much love. I do love so much though. I'm pretty high empathy, so I guess I could say I love you too, but I have to just keep butt stuff out of my brain. When trying out a new game, is there something in particular you guys look for? Plot, gameplay, mechanics, etc. That's also from Harry-chan. That's a good question.
So all right. So the mechanics matter to the point where they're not ruining the experience, and then the story for me when it's a single player game.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. Story for me every time.
I think about it in terms of genre. It depends.
Mm-hmm.
I love what Mortal Kombat is doing. Where if you compare it to Street Fighter, they're like, hey guys, look, this is a narrative in a fighting game.
Right.
Yeah.
You care now? And then they're like, oh, you don't care about the narrative? Well, then here's a fighting game. But with the average fighting game, it's like, hey guys, here's a fighting game. And I'm like, okay. So I look a lot for where the innovation is, because I look at a lot of games now and I'm like, that's just a first-person shooter. That's just a fighting game. It's just reskinned. And I feel like maybe the mod culture kind of has that, because now you're like, well, kind of anybody could have done this in a mod. What makes your game unique and outstanding?
Just there are so many 6s and 7s that get reviewed that have such awesome stories, and to me those games are so worth playing through. I think of Remember Me or Enslaved, or even a game like Syndicate, where it's like, yeah, sure, they have some rough edges, but the stories and the worlds that are created and the stories being told are
What
awesome.
did you think about Beyond Two Souls?
Loved Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
So fun.
I'm big on progression. I will get really phased out of a game where it's just, that's why I'm not really into just hardcore 40 on 40 multiplayer games. Unless Modern Warfare 2 is a huge deal once they actually started implementing XP. But it's a reason why I wasn't really into the Souls franchise for a while, and although I'm really into Bloodborne now. But because I'm I don't want to lose 2 hours. I don't want to go home and then play a game and then not really have anything to show for it.
F that.
But the progression is in your skill and you getting better at it.
That's true, but
that is see, I call that skill. To me that's not an actual marked progression, which is why I really like open world games. I enjoy the whole Ubisoft tower system way more than I probably should.
Yeah, me too.
Anytime I play an open world game and look at the map and just see all these little dots of objectives I can do.
Exploration!
I have to do all of it.
That's why Assassin's Creed is one of my favorite.
So you're a completionist, you would say.
As well. See, I'm not a completionist. I'm an explorer.
Okay.
I love I got the crew. The crew's not that great, but I can explore. In a car, it's a different aspect of exploring. Far Cry 4, I haven't really explored yet, but
Far Cry 3 was one of my favorite games. Like,
4's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I haven't played 4 yet.
I feel like I look for freedom. I think I look a lot. I feel like I look for not only the innovation, but what is the freedom to be able to do as many things as you want to do as you explore the world, and how well is the world. As I think about now how sucked up in MMOs I've gotten and can still get. So yeah, I like being free.
Clunk, clunk, clunk.
Another thing. So I'm into a lot of competitive games, and balance is like the big one.
StarCraft 2.
Yeah. StarCraft. I mean.
Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike is like, to me, the quintessential.
Balance personified.
It is the quintessential competitive shooter.
I agree.
And the system is so, because they recognize the problem with a lot of shooters is it's like, how do I compare an MP5 to AR-15 to whatever, and like they have to balance the weapons because everyone can have access to all of them. Whereas Counter-Strike is like, no, this gun is clearly better than this one, but it costs more for you to get it. So you have to earn that gun in the micro level of the game.
Yeah.
So yeah, balance is like a big thing. When Max Payne multiplayer first came out, I was like, this is going to be an esport. It's so fun. It's innovative. Like, it's really cool. And then people started reaching level 20, and there were these pistols that would kill you in 2 shots, and you unlock the dual wielding, so you'd literally kill people in 1 shot. It would be like, boom, boom, boom. It's like, why am I using this assault rifle when I can just So balance can ruin a game.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You guys.
It's my 2 cents.
Balance yourselves.
Yeah. Balance your games.
This question is a question I ask anyway, but it also comes from, I lost the name. It also comes from Sir Mr. Mystery.
Mr. You better watch your background.
We can start with
when
Mike.
I get pissed,
what is the one piece of advice you would give to, and it says all new YouTubers, but I'm gonna broaden this. I mean, aspiring creators, entertainers, people who would like to work in this field or in the YouTube field, video game field. What is the one piece of advice you would give to our allies?
Never stop doing what you're doing, ever. And if you have the chance to get like an internship, do that, because that was a huge part of my entry into GameTrailers. I went to San Francisco State for college, got a journalism degree, and was just doing my blog. I had already graduated when I got an internship to G4. So I enrolled in a class just to take this internship. So I was working this unpaid thing, I was paying for college, working at a restaurant like 5 days a week, doing the intern thing 2 days a week. But I just like never stopped writing, never stopped trying to just get into it.
Yeah.
And then I interned at GameTrailers and then hired on. So internship, if that is an option for doing what you're doing,
I think
highly recommend it.
I think just like Nike, just do it. One thing that he brought up is he's working on his blog the whole time while he's always exercising the
brain muscles.
Yeah, whatever it is you're trying to do. If you're trying to make films, then constantly be trying to work on short films and stuff, or at least writing them, or doing or being involved somehow. Always be doing stuff. Don't just like. It sounds kind of funny based on our profession, but don't just like apply for a couple jobs and then go play video games the rest of the day, like I did when I was looking for jobs. You really do have to be constantly working on whatever it is you're trying to do. And I joke about it, but I was like, when I first moved out to LA, I was trying to be a writer. So every day, me and my writing partner would be writing, even if we knew it was something that probably would never get seen by anyone. We were working on the script.
Like that airport thing you were doing.
What airport?
You were working on like a sketch at the airport or something.
I don't.
It was a long time ago.
Okay.
It was like 5 years ago. Like you were talking about. We're going back. I'm just showing off how we're friends.
Okay.
Brandon,
I was gonna throw out Huber's and which he stole, so I'll say.
Stealing your answers.
Read comments, especially if you're making videos on YouTube. But like, you don't need to take advice ever. Take advice. Like, obviously, if people are critiquing your stuff and you see a comment come up a lot, but if you don't agree with it, don't listen to it. It can be easy if people are critiquing your work, if they're like, oh, I don't like your voice, or I don't like this, to immediately think like, oh, I gotta change it right away. That one person didn't like it, and so I immediately have to knee jerk and constantly form my ideas towards what everybody's saying, and really like look deep and really notice like when people's comments will kind of echo your inner sentiments. When you'll realize it's like this might seem like a tangent, but I'm gonna try to bring it back in. I play a lot of Hearthstone. And I'm not a big card game guy. Like, I'm not a big deck builder. I don't go online and find the best decks. I really like going through and playing, and then after like 40 sessions realizing, like, you know what? Screw this guy. Like, this one little card, like, it's cool in concept, and I can see how it works, but like, it's just not happening. I'm just not feeling it. And so it's kind of the same thing with comments. Like, if you have a concern about videos that you're producing, and you see these comments come up, like, then you can maybe go to apply that. But don't constantly be knee-jerk reacting to everything. It's like on the major networks on TV where it's just like, this show's on Monday nights, then Thursday nights, then Wednesday nights, and then, oh, no one's watching. It's like, because you're not staying the course. It kind of off of what you were saying. So read comments, definitely get involved in your community, talk to people, create conversations, but don't feel the need to constantly be adjusting your work based on negative things that people are saying.
Controversy is good.
Negativity is always going to be there.
Well, to support what he's saying, like, to me, the YouTube comment section, for the most part, is like Yelp. It's like people are going to comment that either really love it or really hate it.
But they're more likely to comment that they hate it.
Right. So when I first started doing like my personal channel stuff, I would do like really long videos, and people would be like, "Man, you should cut your videos way down." And as soon as I uploaded a video that was cut way down, people were like, "Man, you need to make longer videos." Right? So you
can't please everybody.
You just got to do what you like. Yeah.
Please yourself.
There it is. Johnson and Johnson.
I give gallons of advice, and I don't even know what advice I have and have not given. But I would definitely say, I'm trying to think of like new advices that I haven't like given, because I will always tell you to do what you do because you love it. And
I think here's a good one. Always be looking to improve. So like,
yes,
the people that
big time.
The people that are on top and stay on top are always looking to make their stuff better. And like, how can I take advantage of certain things? Like, I remember there was that whole stink over like the new YouTube comment section, and PewDiePie, who's the biggest YouTuber in the world, was like, I'm going to move my comment section to Reddit. And I was like, this guy's a genius. Like, he might be yelling and doing stupid stuff in front of a camera, but as like a businessman and a guy that's like understands the internet, like he's just smart about it. Like he knows what's up. And he's constantly doing like funny new things. He's not ever just like, oh, I'm going to sit on these gameplay videos that I'm making. He's always doing like random new stuff.
Yeah. Well, off of that, and this is actually I feel like a new piece of advice. In everything you do, whether it's learning or even for the sake of entertainment, if you have an interest in it, you don't have to do it consistently, but when you, at some point while you're doing it, whether you're watching or interacting with, go for a period of time consciously. And that means as you're experiencing this thing, if you're watching, if you're listening, if you're playing, be very aware of what the heck is happening and camera angles, or what the music does at a certain point in time, or if you're playing a first-person shooter, how do you improve? What are your weaknesses in a first-person shooter as you play a first-person shooter, or why is this funny when you're watching a thing that's funny?
Right.
Be very, very, not all the time, but this is a form of exercise. And a great example is if you are watching a dancing video and you may be a dancer, or you're watching a fighting video and you may be a fighter, in this case, you being YouTubers and entertainers, a dancer watches a dancing video, and as they're watching the dancing video, their muscles twitch and they move without them even realizing it, because they are mentally doing it. They are mentally mimicking and putting themselves in that position. It's the same with fighters. So you, as an entertainer, as new YouTubers, as explorers of this whole thing, as you're exploring and as you're playing in, take in consciously, absorb. That will help you grow and develop better as a person generally, because you can apply that to everything you do in order for growth. But as far as this platform is concerned, and as far as the tools you use, at any time you can think about it, embrace it and enjoy it and go with it consciously.
And always try to catch yourself in that moment when you're really enjoying something. Like when you see something on the web and you're like, it was funny. Like really stop in that moment and be like, why? Why do I like that?
Yes.
Like why did I choose to click on that?
Was
like
it
when I saw that image, like why did I gravitate towards that?
Yep.
Like
boobs always.
Why did I
always boobs?
When it, well, that was we figured that out before YouTube. But it's like like constantly be aware of your situation and be aware of and a lot of that, which is really really tough, is stepping outside of yourself.
Yes.
Because like it's good. We were talking earlier about it's really good to work in a community, but if you're working with people that you've known forever, then you're passing out jokes that nobody understands. You're communicating in a way that people can't follow, and so it's always really good to like step outside and evaluate what you're doing and look at other people and understand why.
So there you go. Freaking awesome advice. It was great advice. Good job, guys. So thank you. We're out of time. Shout outs Ellen Hoek, can't say that one. Dondre Games, Pringle Cat.
What if there was a button next to everybody's name that was like the pronounce button? You could upload a pronunciation, like a little 5-second thing. And
well, see that ruin, like, so they have that in Ventrilo where you can type in a pronunciation, but people just type like and. Just like, if you like try to pronounce it, then it does that.
Mark Montague, Spencer L. Nicoli. Lost the last name. Henry Temete. Man, there's so many names on this planet. Can't we just start resharing some of these? Tyler Fry.
What happened to Bob?
Saskia Von, this is the world. Von Saskia. I'm loving all these names. Nighthawk. Oh, we got a superhero in the house. Boxer 55. I really can't say these names. WWE University 3. There are 3 of you? James Steele. Fuckwad, I haven't seen you in a long time.
No, but is that the one that's spelled F-A-Q-U-A-D?
F-A-H, yeah. Fuckwad he's been around for years. So it's always good to see.
Yeah.
He was around during the stream. He was on, I feel like he came from Welkner's show.
Oh, yeah?
And he's like, he's just been like, he's everywhere.
He's following Huber's advice. He's sticking to it, man.
He just stay in it. Lynn
Stay the course.
Harley is hella. All of you, I can't, Joe Jimbo. Senpai notices you all. I even see when somebody's like, Senpai, I can't break the flow sometimes, but I do notice. I just don't verbally always notice. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Sohinki, of course. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Mike. I'm actually going to be on a show after this on GameTrailers.
Yeah, that's right.
So after this, if you're watching this on YouTube, don't just like go to GameTrailers live after this and expect to see me. No, I won't be there. But on GameTrailers, I'll tweet it out. If you're not following me on Twitter, @Flitz, really easy to find. Sohinki, @Sohinki. Where can I find you?
GameTrailers VO.
GameTrailers, so do you do all the voiceovers?
I do all the voiceover for all the videos.
So you are the voice of GameTrailers.
I'm the voice of GameTrailers. Voice founder and editor-in-chief.
Voice founder? Wait, the founder of The Voice? Or you are the both? So wait, I didn't know
discovered
you're the
Pharrell.
founder of
GameTrailers, yeah.
I had no
Back in
freaking
02.
idea.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's awesome.
We're learning
awesome.
things today.
Yeah, no, he is.
SGA, yeah.
That's so. Any advice that he's given you, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's legit at this point. I'm pretty sure. Mike,
Michael P. Huber.
Michael P. Huber. Follow us all on Twitter. Thank you, Alliance. We'll be doing this next week, more than likely at the same bat time, which is 3 p.m. PST. But for this week, because there's a show that's happening after this immediately, essentially.
That's right, you got bumped.
We got bumped. we got an earlier spot, but that's okay. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for coming in and playing Mario Kart and enjoying. And I enjoy all of you and all of your questions. And until the next time, work with what you got to get what you want. Do the damn thing.
Yeah.
Didn't we have fun together? Check out Smosh U Lesson 103. We can have more fun together and edit it down to a shorter time. You know what didn't get edited down to a shorter time? Last week's SGA Live, when Sohinki and Mari joined us for a bloody Mortal Kombat. If you're not a part of the Smosh Games Alliance, go to SmoshGamesAlliance.com right now and join us.